Narrated by Abu Salama. Aisha, the wife of the Prophet, said, I used to sleep in front of Prophet Muhammad, and my legs were opposite his qibla, and in prostration he pushed my legs, and I withdrew then, and when he stood, I stretched them. Aisha added, in those days, the houses were without lights. Narrated by Asma bint Abi Bakr. A woman asked Prophet Muhammad, O Allah's Apostle, what should we do if the blood of menses falls on our clothes? The Prophet Muhammad replied, if the blood of menses falls on the garment of any one of you, she must take hold of the blood spot, rub it, and wash it with water, and then pray in with it. Narrated by Abu Musa. Some people asked Prophet Muhammad, whose Islam is the best? Who is a very good Muslim? He replied, one who avoids harming the Muslims with his tongue and hands. Narrated by Maimuna, the wife of the Prophet. The Prophet Muhammad performed ablution like that for the prayer, but did not wash his feet. He washed off the discharge from his private parts and then poured water over his body. He withdrew his feet from that place, the place where he took the bath, and then washed them, and that was his way of taking the bath of Janaba. Narrated by Aisha. Whenever the Prophet took a bath after Janaba, he started by washing his hands and then performed ablution like that for the prayer. After that, he would put his fingers in water and move the roots of his hair with them, and then pour 3 handfuls of water over his head, and then pour water all over his body. Narrated by Ali. I used to get emotional urethral discharge frequently. Being the son-in-law of the Prophet, I requested a man to ask him about it. So the man asked the Prophet about it. The Prophet replied, perform ablution after washing your organ, penis. Narrated by Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, a wound which a Muslim receives in Allah's cause will appear on the day of resurrection, as it was at the time of infliction. Blood will be flowing from the wound, and its color will be that of the blood, but will smell like musk. Narrated by Abdullah bin Zayd. Once Prophet Muhammad came to us, and we brought out water for him in a brass pot. He performed ablution thus. He washed his face thrice, and his forearms to the elbows twice, then passed his wet hands lightly over the head, from front to rear, and brought them to front again, and washed his feet, up to the ankles. Narrated by Ali. I used to get emotional urethral discharges frequently, and felt shy to ask Prophet Muhammad about it. So I requested Al-Miqdad bin al-Aswad to ask the Prophet about it. Al-Miqdad asked him, and he replied, on has to perform ablution after it. Narrated by Abu Huraira. The Prophet Muhammad said, if a dog drinks from the utensil of any one of you, it is essential to wash it 7 times. Narrated by Ibn Sirin. I said to Abida, I have some of the hair of the Prophet, which I got from Anas, or from his family. Abida replied, no doubt if I had a single hair of that, it would have been dearer to me than the whole world, and whatever is in it. Narrated by Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, whoever performs ablution should clean his nose with water by putting the water in it and then blowing it out, and whoever cleans his private parts with stones should do it with odd number of stones. Narrated by Abu Qatada. The Prophet said, whenever any one of you makes water, he should not hold his penis or clean his private parts with his right hand. And while drinking, one should not breathe in the drinking utensil. Narrated by Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Allah's Apostle said, if any one of you goes to an open space for answering the call of nature, he should neither face nor turn his back towards the Qibla. He should either face the east or the west. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Once the Prophet entered a lavatory, and I placed water for his ablution. He asked, "Who placed it?" He was informed accordingly, and so he said, "O Allah, make him, Ibn Abbas, a learned scholar in religion, Islam." Narrated by Anas. Whenever the Prophet went to answer the call of nature, he used to say, "Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal-khaba'ith," meaning, "O Allah, I seek refuge with you from all offensive and wicked things, evil deeds and evil spirits." Narrated by Nu'am al-Mujmir. Once I went up the roof of the mosque, along with Abu Huraira. He performed wazo and said, "I heard the Prophet saying, 'On the day of resurrection, my followers will be called Al-Ghur'ul Muhajjalun, from the trace of wazo, and whoever can increase the area of his radiance should do so, that is, by performing wazo regularly." Narrated by Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "The prayer of a person who does hajath, passes, urine, stool, or wind, is not accepted till he performs, repeats, the ablution." A person from Hadramut asked Abu Huraira, "What is hajath?" Abu Huraira replied, "Hajath means the passing of wind from the anus." Narrated by Jarir. The Prophet said to me during Hajjat al-Wida, "Let the people keep quiet and listen." Then he said, addressing the people, "Do not become infidels, revert to disbelief after me by striking the necks, cutting the throats of one another, killing each other." Narrated by Anas. The fact which stops me from narrating a great number of hadiths to you is that the Prophet said, "Whoever tells a lie against me intentionally, then, surely, let him occupy his seat in hellfire." Narrated by Ali. The Prophet said, "Do not tell a lie against me, for whoever tells a lie against me, intentionally, then he will surely enter the hellfire." Narrated by Anas. Whenever the Prophet asked permission to enter, he knocked the door thrice with greeting, and whenever he spoke a sentence, said a thing, he used to repeat it thrice. Narrated by Anas. Prophet Muhammad said, "From among the portents of the hour are the following. 1. Religious knowledge will be taken away by the death of religious learned men. 2. Religious ignorance will prevail. 3. Drinking of alcoholic drinks will be very common. 4. There will be prevalence of open illegal sexual intercourse." Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet said, "Facilitate things to people concerning religious matters, and do not make it hard for them, and give them good tidings, and do not make them run away from Islam." Narrated by Ibn Mas'ud. Prophet used to take care of us in preaching by selecting a suitable time, so that we might not get bored. He abstained from pestering us with sermons and knowledge all the time. Narrated by Jarir bin Abdullah. I gave the pledge of allegiance to Allah's apostle for the following. 1. Offer prayers perfectly. 2. Pay the zakat, obligatory charity. 3. And be sincere and true to every Muslim. Narrated by Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas. Prophet Muhammad said, "You will be rewarded for whatever you spend for Allah's sake, even if it were a morsel which you put in your wife's mouth." Narrated by Abu Huraira. Prophet Muhammad said, "If any one of you follows strictly his Islamic religion, then his good deeds will be rewarded 10 times to 700 times for each good deed, and a bad deed will be recorded as it is." Narrated by Abu Mas'ud. The Prophet said, "If a man spends on his family with the intention of having a reward from Allah, sincerely for Allah's sake, then it is a kind of almsgiving in reward for him." Narrated by Abu Huraira. The Prophet said, "Religion is very easy, and whoever overburdens himself in his religion will not be able to continue in that way. So you should not be extremists, but try to be near to perfection and receive the good tidings that you will be rewarded, and gain strength by worshipping in the mornings, the nights. Narrated by Abdullah bin Amr. The Prophet said, "A Muslim is the one who avoids harming Muslims with his tongue and hands, and a muhajir, emigrant, is the one who gives up, abandons, all what Allah has forbidden." Narrated by Abdullah bin Amr. A man asked the Prophet Muhammad, "What sort of deeds or what qualities of Islam are good?" The Prophet Muhammad replied, "To feed the poor, and greet those whom you know, and those whom you do not know." Narrated by Umar bin Khattab. Allah's Apostle said, "Islam is based on the following 5 principles. 1. To testify that none has the right to be worshipped, but Allah, and Muhammad is Allah's apostle. 2. To offer the compulsory congregational prayers dutifully and perfectly. 3rd. To pay zakat, obligatory charity. 4th. To perform Hajj, pilgrimage to Mecca. 5. To observe fast during the month of Ramadan.